you're proud to work for an organization that does.
I'm proud to do voting rights work on behalf of an organization that provides pro bono counsel to individuals, especially low income individuals.
But let me ask you, how could anyone who is not on the radical left?
I want to give some benefit of the doubt using my own intuition. Now, this is after having some pretty fucking wild dreams. And the dreams that I had were was in France. It was they had discovered, like, for the whole world, they had discovered some way to use these structures to give everybody a level up, everybody on the earth. Now, there were some people that were being, like, dark illuminated, and it had something to do with the structure. The structure would have them buried underneath. It was very strange. It was as if you could be empowering demons on the earth. That was essentially the dream. Now, what you had to go and do is go into the underground, and then these entities would place you in a spot, and you'd be there. You'd be dead. You'd be dead, and they would take your power, and then they would come up, like almost in a form of you, but nobody was fooled by it anymore. It was some sort of enlightenment. I would like to think this lady, from my empathy, it wants to be helping people be able to vote. She very well could be not able to do that, not able to speak, because the way the left is doing. So I want to see how she acts. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
How could someone who's pro-life, how could someone who's conservative, how could someone who's religious,
well, let me back it up
have
some.
any degree of confidence?
Senator, again,
so you're
legal profession from the position of being and representing the court to
that day. The evidence in the case indicated that the shooter had assembled his targets by visiting the Southern Poverty Law Center website of so-called hate groups, where the Southern Poverty Law Center equated the Family Research Council with true bigoted hate groups like the KKK and the Nazi Party. Do you agree with your employer that the Family Research Council is equivalent to the KKK or the Nazi Party?
Senator Cruz, I would first respectfully state that although, yes, I have spent a big chunk of my career as a civil rights lawyer, early on in my career, I was actually a staff attorney with the 11th Circuit. So I started my career in my understanding of the legal profession from the position of being and representing the court to some extent.
But being a staff attorney is not a judge. So could you answer the question, please?
Well, in terms of the...
Do you...
Now, I didn't go far back enough to show that the killer was going to rub, after he killed people, or he did do this, Chick-fil-A all over the faces of the people he killed at that place. Because Chick-fil-A is it's a faith-based family restaurant, so what the fuck? And I'll go back further, because if so far we've had the weird bulbous head guy, Sam Brinton, stealing stuff from the airport, stealing bags from women, and all they've put in, they're not even taking these jobs seriously that they're putting people in. They're just trying to put in advocates. Fucking I mean, come on, man. Really? Fucking come on.
Particular offense, even if it is an offense, I just am not aware of that. And again, it would be inappropriate for me to speak about any particular investigation at this point, but I'm not aware of anyone being charged with that.
Yeah, I'm not either. I've just heard that word used several times today, and to my knowledge, nobody's been charged with that. They've been charged with other things, not that one. On June 7th of 2021, I signed on to a letter with a bunch of my colleagues. The letter was led by Senator Johnson. And the purpose of the letter was to ask a number of questions regarding the prosecution of individuals alleged to have committed crimes in connection with the 2020 riots, and those alleged to have committed crimes on January 6th. Despite the best efforts of my staff to work with the Department of Justice to narrow the scope and prioritize certain questions, we didn't receive any answer until October 22nd, over 4.5 months after we sent the letter. Now, ordinarily, you'd think that you've got more than 4.5 months to respond, that you'd submit a response that was at least good or thorough. But to my great astonishment and dismay, the letter
You know, it ain't. This is not right. It's just not. Now, in my dream, this Notre Dame had half the roof on. It was like the front, and it was way bigger. It was like fucking a building that was like from over here, which is in line with this, the Louvre, to this Institut de Mondre. It was this big. And how big in the sky was it? It was fucking huge in the sky. Let's say I'll put a footprint down. Kind of rough, but it was a building this big, and in the sky, I mean, it was just way the fuck up in the sky. The front half of it, like I said, it was kind of like an arch or an angle From the back, it was low. From the top, it was high. It was covered on the top. But towards the front, it was opened up on the bottom. And they were burying people. And everyone was finding out that the past and they were finding out what was going on. And what was going on was that people were being tricked and duped into giving away their power. They were losing their life. They were being recycled. And we were fighting these things. But we could be placed correct. We could be placed like there would be statues on the top, like the Pantheon. And we would have our power back. The statue would close in the spirit, whatever the fuck was loose. It was like as if those spirits were loose, and if they could do what they wanted to do, they would get the human, and they would keep killing them and putting them underground. If you stop that, the statue would be in a stone, and it would be on the top, and it would be placed correct, and there would be a negative stream of dead bodies going into there. So something like that is going on. That's all I know what to say. Good morning. Have a wonderful day.